Well, it just happened. The GWOAT did it again. Claressa Shields, real surgical. In this video, I'm going to break down Claressa Shields versus Lani Daniels. The fight just took place in Detroit. In this video, Shields versus Daniels. Your boy Ego will let you know what really happened. So stay tuned. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just got finished watching Claressa Shields versus Lani Daniels. And I'm going to do my best to break down this fight like I always do when it comes to this boxing game. Real scientific, the best in the business, and it's not even close. So first of all, congratulations to the GWOAT. She did a hell of a job. She came out before a packed crowd at the Little Caesars Arena or whatnot in her homeland, Detroit, Michigan, and the crowd loves her. The crowd loves her, and it's obvious why. Not only did she represent us, not just Detroit, but us Americans in the Olympic Games, she came back with the gold, and she continues to fight for her fans. This really was a blowout. Claressa Shields retains her undisputed WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF heavyweight titles. And according to CompuBox, she outlanded Daniels by a insane margin. The amount was 167 punches landed for Claressa Shields, 167 to Daniels is 41. So Daniels, she had her gun shy, she had her timid, and I'm going to start from the top. So round one, I want to say Lani Daniels, it was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing. She was doing like some weirdo New Zealand edition of Ali Shuffle, and she was like, it was all gags, and she was just playing around and literally running. You know me, I don't like using the running, because using lateral movement in boxing as part of your strategy is cool. But when you're running. This was terrible. Rounds one and two were probably the most egregious. And I'm like, I hope and pray that she doesn't actually fight like this. And the problem with a person like Lani Daniels doing this is women's boxing, as it sits, it's 2-minute rounds. So you only got 2 minutes to get it cracking. So men's 3-minute rounds, UFC 5-minute rounds, right? So the women in boxing, you already have significantly less time. That minute, because if you get someone hurt in 2 minutes, then the bell rings. You know what I mean? That extra minute, if you had someone hurt in like the men's divisions, you might be able to polish them off, pause, and finish them. So you're already up against that. Then it was a women's championship fight, so it was only a 10-rounder instead of a 12-rounder. So you're down 2 rounds from men's championship fighting, and you only have a 10-rounder instead of 12. You have 2-minute rounds instead of 3, and then you literally gave up easily rounds 1 and 2, kind of playing around and running, or it was your strategy or whatever. So I don't like that, because you're already up against the clock. You're in somebody else's hometown, and everything else I just mentioned with the rounds and the length of time. So it's dumb to forfeit 2 rounds. You need those rounds, especially if you're really trying to win. So I was hoping she didn't fight the whole thing like that, which she didn't. So credit to her for that. The only thing I can really give her credit for, there are some sneaky counters from Lani Daniels throughout the fight, namely when Shields was on the ropes, which I'll get back to in a minute. And she was tough, durable, and she never went down, and she was getting rocked. She was getting dog walked, and hit with some hard shots that a lesser minded female fighter, or just fighter in general, getting hit with them type of shots, they might have packed it in. So she didn't do that. Credit to her for lasting the full duration of 10 rounds. So the way she was fighting in the back half, the second half of the fight, it kind of redeemed her enough to the point where it wasn't just completely laughable. You at least tried. You showed some heart, some resilience in them later rounds, and you even caught Claressa Shields. So you lack the experience. She's the 2-time gold medalist. That's pretty much what I expected. So flawless performance from Claressa Shields. To break down the fight, there's not much to break down. It was a landslide. Claressa Shields continues to show she's the GWOAT and separate herself from these other female fighters. Now, speaking of that, one thing that I gotta note in this video, because I give you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the good for Claressa Shields, for me, what I really like is, as I mentioned, there's only 2-minute rounds. She maxes out of all females. I'm talking Serrano, Katie Taylor, Baumgardner. I want to say Claressa Shields maximizes the 2 minutes to their fullest better than any other current female fighter that's going. Like, I've seen Katie Taylor, and she kind of like taking like 40 seconds, not really active, blah, blah, blah. She's not fighting at this like rushed pace, given the fact that your minutes are chopped and a lot shorter than the men's round. Claressa Shields, she's really trying to hurt you. She's really trying to clap you up in there. And she paces herself well. Her cardio was good. And she threw a lot of punches and was very active for the 2-minute rounds. Again, I watch boxing, not just men's boxing, but mostly. But I do watch some of the female fights that you've seen, an emergence of more women's boxing. And I'm telling you, there's nobody in boxing, in women's boxing, that paces themselves so frenetically and they're trying to win every moment. Because it's to the point where it's a landslide victory. I don't even know if she lost a round, probably not, right? You can really just say, I'm taking these rounds off. If you wanted to, I'm tired. Claressa Shields, she really is trying to give you your money's worth. You know what I mean? She's fighting to the last drop, and I respect that. Like, there's so many fights I've seen from her live and on TV, you know, because I've been to her fights live. I was at her pro debut. It was on the Andre Ward card out here where I'm from, you know. But she's really fighting for the people and maximizing those rounds. I don't, please name another fight. I watched Baumgardner's last fight, Katie Taylor Serrano. That pace was like kind of slow. Claressa Shields is dumping. What I also like from Claressa Shields, I haven't seen her dump to the body as much as I seen in this fight. So the body work was beautiful, very surgical stuff. I wish she jabbed a bit more, but when she was jabbing, it was very good. When you have somebody running and gun shy and not really trying to engage, body work, jab, stop them in their tracks, freeze them up, slow them down with the body work. So she put it all together pretty nicely, but I wanted to see more jabbing. Body work was beautiful though. She can also work on cutting off the ring. You know, it's just minor things. I can't, because I don't want to sound like I'm nitpicking when someone puts up that type of performance. It's like Kobe Bryant put up 81 and then I'm like, oh, but you could have did this. Like, I'm not finna do that. It was a very good performance. She made her crowd proud, and it looked lit. She walked out with Rick Ross. Oh, wing stop, fat boy needed big. Fat boy needed 10p. Oh, oh. So that was cool. Walking out with Rick Ross. Papoose was there to support her, and she was active. It was an action fight. You know, there's a lot of conversation right now about this Tom and Jerry stuff. She wasn't giving you no Tom and Jerry. It was an action fight. The only thing is her opponent was inexperienced and wasn't of the level to the point where she could really compete with that, and she was getting cooked. So overall, I love what I seen from Claressa Shields. great passion, great energy. You could look on her face and see she wants to hurt these girls. Whether her power is like, you know, people question her power and stuff like that. She's throwing hard. I mean, I'm not trying to do too much, but there's little moments you could tell she's working on her craft, because there was little moments she looked kind of like the female Floyd-esque, like where she would just like be on the ropes and languish on the ropes and then like pot shot, or you could tell she's studying. I'll leave it at that. Like some of the surgical body work, just pop. Her technique looked good. The fundamentals and the technique looked real good. And, you know, it was a great performance. Now, if I have to give a criticism for Claressa Shields, the only thing I would say is she was looking cute and sweet on the ropes, but there was some moments where I think she stayed on the ropes a little too long and Daniels was able to catch her. So maybe somebody who had more power, like Shadacia Green or Savannah Marshall, you don't want to languish on the ropes too long, you know, because it start getting good to you and you feeling it and and you dodge it in the defense. You know what I mean? It was looking sweet, but you don't want to do the Muhammad Ali too much on the ropes, the rope-a-dope against the more bigger punches. But I will say this, she was getting caught with some sneaky hooks and stuff from Daniels. Maybe she felt the power of Daniels and felt that I was in a safer zone. You know, it's hard to explain, but ask a fighter, they'll know what I'm talking about. Basically, you have a strong inkling that I got a feel for this person's speed and power, and I could deal with it, you know what I mean, if need be. So, and I also attribute it to her fighting at home. She trying to entertain her crowd. The crowd was like, whoop that, you know, singing Hustle and Flow and stuff. So she was having fun in there. Her cardio looked good. She looked like she had good pacing, and it was an all-star performance from Claressa Shields. The only other like bad and ugly is she moved all the way to heavyweight. These girls ain't effing with her. So she might have to move back down the 20, 30 pounds or whatever to some of the lighter weight divisions to get some action, because that was a blowout, you know. And the best I can say is the girl she fought took a good punch and landed a few counters. But when you're getting outlanded 167-41, I'm not talking about them little piddly counters you was landing. You never really hurt her, or you didn't hurt her at all. And, you know, if you land one when she's landing 6, 7, 8 and dominating the round and aggressive the whole round, then what are we talking about? So great performance by Claressa Shields. She might have to move back down to get some real work, you know, because right now she just seemed in the zone. Not having to do that extra weight cut is like these girls that I've seen at heavyweight. It looks like the fights are almost easier at heavyweight than some of her earlier bouts, like Hannah Gabriel's or Savannah Marshall or the German chick, Christina, you know what I mean? Things like that. So she might have to move down. That's just what it is. But you let me know what you guys think. For more boxing news all day, every day, I got you. And that's what really happened. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard.